I think I'm making some absolute cash right now. $320,000, and it's been climbing up as high as $500,000. It's dropped a little bit there, but we're still making heaps of money. Hello everyone and welcome back to my little town in, well, I guess it's not really a town, of Springfield, where I've recently been setting up myself some new oil areas. I've got myself the original Victoria oil, which does have quite a few problems with all these guys unable to do anything. I do have two new areas of Portela oil and Junction oil, because it's near the river junctions. But most of these things are going very, very well. If we look at our cash, we're making some $200,000. Even our ore isn't that much. And I think we've actually cracked the code on how to do this all. So we can see we've got a train line coming from here, another one from here, that's all coming into a single line, going past the trees, which will link in eventually, coming past Victoria, which is now also going to be linked in as well. And this single train line goes all the way across up to here and dumping all the stuff here. So it has generated a couple of problems which we're going to be sorting out today. But I am a little bit mindful that I've been spending most of the time doing industry stuff since I started this series, and that's not necessarily something I wanted to get done, but we shall see. So what we've got here is a single train line with an area of oil which cannot go into by car. So it goes all the way back here, and of course I just showed you that. So what happens is that the oil is forced to go by rail to over here. Now that has generated a few problems. If we just take a random one of these, you can see that one's correct, but one of these along here, I'm sure, that one's trying to export. So that in theory should be going into here, which would then be dumping off into these vehicles. So we need to set up a mini import hub, I think, over here, and that might mean getting rid of these two, because we are not going to need either of them. We're going to need to take all the vehicles from here, which are trying to export into a mini hub here, all the vehicles that are coming from the south areas into here, into a mini import hub, and then dump that into here. So what I'm thinking is that all the trucks from these two areas, from Rockhampton and from Animal Farm, will come into the south, and you can see most of the fish is doing that anyway, and then the northern bits will be for imports trying to go, or exports trying to go from Mount Douglas and my other 3 oils and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a little bit of hassle to set that up, and you can see there's a couple of trains heading this way. I believe there's a couple of these vehicles trying to export as well, or trying to get to over here, so that's something we're going to have to set up as well. And we can see that there's just a whole stack of trains coming through. But on the plus side, I think that if we make it entirely reliant on trains, we're not going to need this thing in here, or we're really not going to need any of these import lines, so we can get rid of the road and have a few more train stations going in and out. So a fair bit of work to do today, and we should get straight into it. I'm not really sure how many of these trains are carrying entirely exports and how many of them are carrying goods that needs to go into here, but I'm hoping that with this short line over here, which will then feed into, let me think, I want maybe not a 4-lane highway, but a 3-lane highway going straight into here, straight like that, and into there. So that should hopefully get rid of some of the cargo. So then I need some lines coming off that. We need, let's see, I'm going to go minimum 1, but possibly 3 would be ideal. So let's set that up. Cargo station number 1. That's not a cargo station. Cargo station number 1. I'm actually shocked at the sheer number of cargo stations I'm going to need here. So for the time being, let's turn those off because we don't need them, and set this one straight into there. And then that should, in theory, start dumping the cargo from the south line into here, at least for the time being. Let's get the water underway, from there to there somehow. Yeah, there we go, and across. And that should suffice, and hopefully the power gets across. Power there. Now I should check my water. I did budget down quite a bit, so I can probably put that up to, let's say, 70. It's, I suppose, a bit of a money-saving gesture, even if I am sitting on about $12 million and making half a quarter of that per week. But, okay, so that is starting to separate into the two lines now, which is good to see. So in probably 2 or so minutes, this should start separating. So that, hopefully, is going to 1, which is that one. Now that's 2 and 1. I may have made a bit of a mistake here with them both going into there. Because that one's the closer one to everything they need. They're all going into 1, which is not ideal. This might need a little bit of thinking because one station is not going to cope with all these stations. You can see there's quite a few trains coming up the line, and that's not all going to go into there. So we may need to further separate these lines down here, which is not going to be rather expensive and not ideal, but we can hopefully sort it out. So what I'm thinking down here is that somewhere along here we join multiple lines, so we can have, say, these two as line number 1, and then these two as line number 2, and that should separate a little bit. It's a little bit of expense, and I might need to move some of these things away. Let's move it to there for the time being, and move that one there. It's not like I'm going to suffer for need of water. Let's go there, and then work on getting the second line. So the second line is going to have to be careful. I might need to duck down. I might need to go up and over and then into here. A little bit of thinking. So what I might do is cut that maybe and see. So it's still a fair bit of work to be done. Okay, so I was starting to work on getting another line through here, but it seems that these trains are actually sorting themselves out, which is very nice to see. I have gone through through some of the lines trained through here, and they are going through both, which is good to see indeed. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to continue if I dump some more trains from the ore and the farm across, but we're going to see that in the future. Now, what I also did was duplicate this line so it's 1 each way, and that's mainly to prevent or to remove this train, some of the cargo from here across to here, which is sort of happening a little bit. Not sure why, or I guess I do know why, because this is just storage, and if it needs a call out, it's just going to go straight here. So all of this, what is all of this? This is all just returning to facility. It's not quite what I want. I think I know what they was doing. That's when I had the road going out to here. Now they're all coming back, which is very good. So hopefully in a little while, this should start dumping across. Yeah, crime rate is high, who cares? So that is very good, and I'm now losing 54,000 a week, which I think is mainly due to the oil production, oil lot going down. Oh, what the heck have I done here? What have I done indeed? So that's connected, that's connected, that's connected. That's connected. What have I done? What happened? What? I see. That little broken connection has broken everything. So that, hopefully, connects to that, which connects to the rest of the world. So that should hopefully arrest my slide of people. Everything should be coming back online shortly. Hopefully. There we go. Yeah, I think it's because when I moved these waters out earlier, I lost them. So I may lose a fair number of people, but that can't be helped too much, I think. Hopefully nothing too bad happens, and I'm very glad I put in that huge amount of buffer. So, I'll get rid of all these buildings and then get back to the industry stuff. So it's been a little while since my last clip, and I have done a little bit of manipulation. So I've got now a train from here, which is taking all the farm stuff across to here, which seems to be working pretty well. It can come across to the exports as well, which I don't think is really needed, now that I think about it, but we'll see. And has dramatically lessened the amount of trucks around here, although I just want to check. Most of those seem to be going fine. Just a randomly checking, and that seems to be going fine. Now, if you look in our budget, I am making a whopping $1.2 million just off industries. And you can see there, the oil is my best. The warehouses are doing a fair bit of income, which is a little bit annoying, but the rest of my income is enough to cover it massively. I've been kind of hoping to see this ship get launched, but it doesn't look like it's happening. So, I've still got a little bit of work to do in here, I think. I do want to cut out the line, the road that goes under here and joins up here somewhere, I think it is, because that is taking a lot of stuff onto here, and I don't particularly want that yet. So I think I can cut that by having a train from here go to here as well, and then all those things should be, like if I take that one, that's a metal truck exporting to the region, or exporting to here somewhere, so it's probably going to go around, come out. In fact, if I have a look at that guy's route, if I have a look at your route, where are you? You are coming, and you're going the long way out, and you're going out to the region, so that's not what I want at all. So I want to force every single one of these exports to go onto the rail and into my exports hub, so a little bit of manipulation to make sure that happens. And there we go, so we've got that little station there. I don't know how many trucks are going to be using it. It appears not too many. If I just get out of there and then pick this road, there aren't too many heading down it, which is a little bit disappointing, but we should be able to fix that if we cut off their route to get to there. So a little bit of manipulation as well again to go. I've been looking at this export hub as well, and I don't think I need all 10 stations. You can see this bottom one is barely being used, this top one is barely being used. So I reckon if I get rid of that one and that one, as well as their lines, and we can see what happens with it. And if we need to get rid of more, we will do so. So let's get rid of these underground train lines, because they're going to cost me money, and go from there. Just watching all these trains depart is showing me just how much these things are exporting out to the world as well. Now there is one more thing I should be working on, and it is getting these special goods out. If we look at these things, pretty much all of them, in fact most of them, are full, just completely and utterly full. And if we just watch the trucks for a minute, hopefully this one's a good example. It should send our truck out, but it can't get to where it needs to go because this place I've completely blocked it off from being able to get to the outside world, and that's mainly to prevent these trucks from exporting out. I don't know why they're coming back out, but we shall fix it up soon. So that might mean yet another train to go somewhere, to go to the rest of the, or to connect to this line anyway, because that should connect me to the rest of the world and hopefully to the rest of the goods. So what we need is a train line that connects everything from here and everything from here. So most of them are going to have to go, they all should be able to come up via this road, which means this one's going to be very busy, and it needs to come from this side as well, which is a little bit annoying. So let's get rid of those things. I don't think they're doing anything. And then where are we going to put this? Where are we going to put this? Okay, so what I'm thinking here is I've changed these roads to both ways, and then I will connect up this road here, just one like that, a simple like that. It's going to be not very efficient, but that's not too much of a problem because most of these trucks should be delivering straight to here anyway. Then I'm going to run this line across here. If I get out my train tool, my building tool, are going to run across here as close as I can to this line. Under, I think. And this is going to be a little bit tricky to manipulate around these lines, but then it's going to come across here. Just follow the highway, follow the highway, follow the highway, follow the highway, and join up with this line here, which should take the goods every which way. And that hopefully should get the goods to where they need to go. So let's get that underway. And quick as a flash, that has been built. It goes all the way down there and meets up here. Hopefully this is enough room down here. I might need to manipulate this a little bit more later on, but let's have a look back over here and see if there's anything getting to it. And that's not quite what I wanted, because I don't want these vehicles to go here, because that's going to block up this road. Oh, water, of course. Water. I always forget the water. So, this might need a little bit of thinking, but we shall see. Is there anything in here using that? And there's unique factory goods coming over to here, so that's very good. That is starting to work. Might take a little bit of time for everything to get everywhere they need to, but at least they can get out of here without needing a road connection. So that should, in theory, start working very well, very nicely. And I should hopefully see my profits skyrocket. I now realize it also means that any of these warehouses that were trying to export to certain goods places, say over here, or to any of the commercial shops as well, they can now actually get out of here, which is something I completely forgot. And it's not something that I thought of, but I mean, it's working now, so hopefully this does improve my profits. And you can see there, right at the bottom, 478,000 a week, which is definitely helping. Their game's been running for about 20 or so minutes, and my cash has been steadily getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm now sitting on $30 million, and of course the consequence of that is my income is slowly going down, at least as far as the residential and the commercial and the industrial goes. But in here we're making a whopping 700,000 just off my zoned industry, or my industry areas. You can see 82% of my income's coming off that. And I'm thinking there's quite a bit we can do here. So if we look at this, we're only making it about, what, 3,000 off the normal industrial, and 7,000 off that. So I can quite easily reduce that to 1 or less than that. I think I might leave that to a different episode, because there's a couple of things I would like to try here. And in some future episode, I'm going to see what happens if I slowly reduce my taxes to, say, 1% or something ridiculous like that. So it's going to be a little bit of an experiment, and hopefully it will go well. But what I'm expecting to see is just a massive influx of people wanting to try and move in, which will be beneficial when we're trying to expand and get to our planned target of 500,000 people. And so, after about 6 episodes spent on just reworking my industrial districts over and over and over again, I think I've just about got it. Although I have noticed Animal Farm's just a little bit broken at the moment. We do have a lot of these things producing crops, but they're going way too fast into these things. So if we go to our industry HQ, we can see that even though we're producing about 219 tons of crops and splitting it roughly equally across the flour and the animal products, we're not really producing as much as we could. And we do have an efficiency of 100%. So that's a little bit broken at the moment. I think I need to do a lot more crops than I currently am doing, because it's just not keeping up. So something to bear in mind as well. That's a highway, isn't it? So I should turn that into a regular road, which is via this one, I think. And then we should be able to put stuff on the other side. Come on. And in theory, we should be able to do a large crop farm instead of one of these mediums. So yes, overall I'm very happy with the way the industrial district is working, except for the crops, which I am going to be working on off camera for the most part. I now have had the thought, since that these things are working pretty efficiently, with the possible exception of the wood, which I'm still yet to get up to full speed, I think I can pump most of these up to 150%. Why is the glass not going anywhere? I think I might need a few more deliveries there, but overall it's working pretty well. So if I go through these, and except for the ones that need crops, like this one, I bump it all the way up to 150. Like you can see there, that can do massively up, that can go massively up, that one can go massively up, and so on and so forth. That one, yeah, plastics is a little bit iffy at the moment. I think I know why. That one needs crops, so I won't do that one. That one needs other things, so, oh, yeah, some of these I probably don't need to put up yet. So let's bring that one down to 100%, and then we can work on getting more stuff in. I'm just waiting for this to get up to 5 stars, and then I'm going to do a massive overhaul of it and get it up to speed so it's fully functional and dumping out as much timber and as much other stuff as I can get. And why am I getting so many of these things here? I think it's because I'm not producing enough goods. And if I look in my where is it, imports, outports, you can see most of these things that are around here do require goods, and which I'm not really producing. I did accidentally cut off the line here, which is why a lot of them down here are out of goods. Exporting, you can see a lot of it is fish. Not much is agriculture, which makes sense because of how much I'm not doing in here. And a fair bit is oil, and a fair bit is what is that? Ore, and a fair bit is forestry. So that is making sense. That is making a lot of sense. And of course, there's a potential for all of these, for Portobello oil and for, what is this one, Junction oil, to go to massively ramp up production. Because I'm not really doing much here at the moment. I'm just dumping the oil and dumping all of this oil, which isn't much, into here and into here, which again could be a lot massively more. And I think I may actually need more, because that one you can see not doing much at all. It's just going to the ship terminal, which is it's going the long way around. It's having to go all the way through here, through here, through here, through here, and through here. So I can understand if this one is not producing much plastics, but we shall see what happens in the future. So I think that's going to bring today's episode to an end. I've got quite a bit still to sort out in the city, but we are getting very close to being able to focus on our population rather than just fixing everything up. So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.